Today, at the Border Collie Rescue Centre, everyone is up with the sun. Morning mists lay on the ground, the moon hangs in the sky, and the sheep keep a watchful eye on the dogs. Being so far from any road, an advantage of the centre's location is the freedom it allows. At this time of day, there is no one else about, so the house dogs can roam as they please. Spotty Dog returns from his walkabout to join the rest of his friends. Everyone is keen to get back inside for breakfast. Today is the day that Zircon Flooring are due to finish laying new polyurethane floors in the stable block. Before they arrive, the dogs all need feeding, exercising and relocation. Training is always ongoing and consistent. Merc is being taught to walk behind on the lead. After exercising, the dogs are settled into their temporary accommodation. Zircon arrive and begin setting up their equipment.
So Lee, when you put the floor down a couple of days ago, you said you'd be back in a couple of days to smooth it off. So what exactly are you going to be doing at the moment?
We're using the dab and grinder to just take the slight lumps off the top of the polyurethane floor to smooth it out to make it a lot easier for cleaning.
So what's this one for then, Lee?
This is just a saw cut where there's been a partition and the peeling's cracking, so we put a saw cut in and put some mastic in to stop it cracking any further. Right.
The dogs seem very happy with their new, wipe-clean floors. Meanwhile, over in the farmhouse, the indoor dogs are taking advantage of time off for relaxation or recuperation from injury or operation. Puppies would be simple to rehome, but Border Collie puppies often grow up to need a mission, so Border Collie Rescue will always place them in some sort of working home. Molly came to Border Collie Rescue as a 6-month-old puppy. She had problems in getting on with people and with other dogs.
She hadn't really got out and socialised very well as a young pup. When she came in, we found that she had a wonderful quality of searching, and she had a very good nose on her. It was quite true that she didn't want to be a working sheepdog, and her level of socialising was going to really hold her back as being the ideal pet. But to be put into the hands of a professional trainer in some different area was, to me, the way forward for the dog, because her qualities in search work were really her best qualities there.
And that was where Richard came in.
Well, I decided that a long time ago that I really wanted to train a dog for mountain rescue search work, and been involved in rescue for some years. And really just looking around for a dog, we've had lots of dogs and always had rescue dogs of some description, and really didn't want to just take another puppy. So started looking around local organisations, and obviously search dogs predominantly being Border Collies. First port of call was to try and find a Border Collie rescue charity, and obviously there was one very close to hand, which was quite lucky. So that's how I became in touch with Border Collie Rescue.
Molly has now been trained by Richard to help in mountain and other rescue work.
I think the perception from the public is that we're just searching for silly lost walkers, you know, people who've gone and get lost, but an awful lot of our work is in the non-fell, non-mountain environment. A lot of work searching for missing children, missing people, despondent people, people with Alzheimer's who've wandered off and got lost. And probably the first job I did with Molly was only 3 weeks after I graded, and it was a job up in the Dales, up in Coverdale. A long all-night search for a gentleman, an elderly gentleman with Alzheimer's, and very challenging.
So how does Molly take to her rescue work?
Absolutely loves it, yeah. Yeah, insatiable worker. She'll work and work and work. We attended a helicopter crash back in the summer last year, and we were being briefed for an hour or more before the dog was deployed, and I could hear Molly the other side of the field just yipping and yipping, wanting to be out of the car. And when we finally deployed, she just took out an entire field in 2 sweeps because she was so driven. Yeah, absolutely.
Molly still has her little problems, especially with people she doesn't know.
She's fantastic in the family environment. She's fantastic with people she knows. You know, the most loving dog, on laps, cuddling. You know, gets so excited she wheezes. You know, when she sees people. But with strangers, a completely different dog. I wouldn't change that. I wouldn't bring her back. I wouldn't change her now. You know.
Gail's training has progressed to the larger flock of sheep in the 6-acre field, although she was still working under the close supervision of Dot. She can now go out, gather the flock and fetch them back. But today Nicky wants to demonstrate a move that requires more discipline and restraint: the shed. Shedding sheep is simply splitting the flock to single out one or more sheep for attention. But it goes against the dog's natural instinct to keep a flock together. To demonstrate this to Gael, Nicky has to split the flock and then call Gael into the gap she has made, getting her to lay down and hold the position. Initially, Gael succumbs to her instincts and moves to bring the flock together after Nicky has split them. But being very obedient, she allows herself to be called into the gap Nicky has made and lays down. The movement of the sheep triggers her instinct to gather them again, but Nicky calls her back into the gap. Having planted the seeds of the idea, Nicky calls it a day. The sheep seem somewhat entertained by this and appear to want more, but training is best done in small doses and they are left to find their own amusement. Gael and Dot refresh themselves from a bucket of water. Ever keen, Gael looks wistfully back at the sheep in the training paddock, but there will be other days. Sally's pups are getting bigger. All the pups have shown strong working drive and will be placed in suitable homes where they can be trained as sheepdogs. 3 of the pups have already been found homes, and the remaining siblings go out for an afternoon run with their mum, taking full advantage of the surrounding land and farm tracks. Trim follows up the rear. The whole family group are very well socialised, and she is greeted enthusiastically by her brothers and sisters. Sally has also got a new home lined up, but will need to be spayed before she goes. They all have a great life ahead of them, doing what Border Collies do best: herding. In episode 4, Gael goes solo. Various dogs, young and old, come to the centre for assessments. We meet Bryn, assessed and rehomed to the police for drugs and firearms detection. There's romping in the gardens and more from Sally's pups. Join us then.